Dear listener, ClockTower is intended for mature audiences and might be inappropriate or possibly triggering to some. Many of the themes and events in ClockTower are inspired by weird fiction as well as similar concepts, which means the show can get dark. If that isn't something you enjoy, please listen at your own discretion. We here at the ClockTower care about you, so please put your mental health first. Our show will be here when you're ready.
Welcome to Season 2 of ClockTower, a D&D 5e experience. To all our old and new listeners, we're excited to have you here with us. ClockTower is a D&D campaign turned audio drama, played with a custom class and a few house rules that we as a group collectively enjoy. If you find yourself getting a little lost, there's always older episodes to guide you back to the path. With all that said, I hope you enjoyed this episode, and welcome to the ClockTower.
All of you sit in the clock tower. Well, most of you stand, while Rock lays face down on the couch, their hair kind of falling over their shoulders and some of their limbs lazily hanging over the side of the couch as if they looked completely deflated.
I'm telling you, we're gonna be fine. We can do this as many times as we want. You're a great member of the team, and I'm sure, how long is the race gonna be? You're, bound to do something cool.
Rock looks up at you, their head turns slowly, and almost like from an anime, their tears are bubbling down their face, and they look at you and go, "Do you mean fail a bunch of times?"
Listen, there's no such thing as failing unless we stop. And I don't think any of us are gonna stop because that's complicated.
We can't.
Well, of course we can stop. We can stop whenever we want.
They start crawling up in a fetal position, but they're still so tall they take up the entire couch.
Hey, Rock, look at it this way. You fucking just knocked a missile from a car into another missile from another car and blew up another car to the side.
But then I still died.
No.
I threw my sword at a skeleton king, but that didn't go well for me.
That's not the same thing.
It's about the landing, Jaeger. It's
No,
about
it's
the
not.
landing.
It's really not.
And their head turns and they keep crying on the couch.
Muffled sobbing sounds.
How are we supposed to learn to fly a plane if you don't crash a couple times?
All we do is crash.
Well, yeah, but, I'm sure there's another place that we could try and go to after this.
You mean a spooky deathland with zombies, spooky deathland with ash people, or spooky deathland with a snake?
As Rock starts talking about spooky Deathlands, the door with the wardrobe pulled aside slowly creaks open on its own.
Jaeger doesn't move his head, but Jaeger's eyes just slowly pan over to the door and then slowly pan back to Rock again, as if it just didn't open.
I'm saying, maybe we get a pirate adventure. Maybe we'll get a cool concert.
You know what happened the last pirate adventure we went on?
Well, yeah, but, it was fun up until then. You gotta look on the now, There ain't nothing else.
We are kind of a group of people who just have to deal in the present and not in the past. The thing is, the past is our present, kind of. So.
And the future is now.
Yeah.
What is Trinket doing during this
I would
therapy
love
session?
to know.
I'm not hearing them at all, and definitely staring at that door that just opened on its own,
right.
and just staring directly at that.
Okay.
And I've kind of tuned this out at this point because I'm like, I don't know why he acts like this.
You hear vague whispering sounds coming from the shadows beyond the door.
Oh, does your door normally do this?
What?
I point at the door.
Oh,
It's fine.
Yeah.
What?
Don't think about it. It's good. Everything's fine. We haven't made an irreversible mistake.
Also, don't go through the door without the light.
Should we close it?
Yeah, good luck with that.
You're welcome to try.
Does it normally just open?
What?
We should probably name the door.
What?
It's a
They
door.
say as they wipe their tears.
Go ahead, buddy. You name it. You're great at naming things.
I don't feel like that's true, but I'll take it anyway. I'll walk over to the door, for some reason you hear Rock's knees. Somehow they just.
You just got off the couch.
I
what?
know. So you think maybe Rock made that noise themselves, but you're not sure. And they walk over and they like put their hand on the door and they just kind of close their eyes. They look back to you with their arms outstretched and they go, guys, meet Gerald.
Gerald.
Gerald the Spooky Death Door.
Okay.
Do I have to address it with the title, or can I just say Gerald?
Hey, Trinket, roll perception check.
Only got 9.
Okay. You can't make out anything that the whispers are saying, but they do seem to be getting louder, and they do kind of sound like familiar voices.
Probably for the best. I didn't hear it.
So yeah, the space inside isn't called Gerald, just the door.
So, Gerald guards us from the spooky death creatures.
Yeah.
There you go. Thanks, Gerald.
Thank you, Gerald. I look at Jaeger. And I don't look at Jaeger with like a commanding look. I look at Jaeger with the look of when like the 6-year-old really just wants you to play along.
It's like Sam
When
also.
the kid hands you the phone.
Sam also like eyes flicker over to you like, please, please play along right now.
Giga looks at Sam. Giga looks at Rock. Sees like the
Their
puppy
eyes quiver a little
Yeah,
bit.
see the puppy eyes and goes, "I'll be seeing Gerald very soon."
I won't give Trinket the same look because when Rock looks at Trinket, there's this knowing. You could see a knowing look in Rock's eyes of like, you haven't been here long enough to deal with my shit. They have. All right, well, that made me feel slightly better. I couldn't tell you why, but it did.
Sometimes we just gotta, personify something so we can help get through our emotions. Well, I can go to the mirror now?
Is the mirror on?
Yeah.
Awesome. Can I do one more silly thing to make me feel better?
Of course.
It's gonna hurt on the other side, but I've always wanted to try it.
What's that?
Rock will go to the mirror, not go into it, step back, and then... How wide is the mirror? Why are you looking at me like that?
It's like 2.5 feet wide.
Oh. Bet. Rock runs up and jumps and like cannonballs through the mirror. Or at least attempts to.
Oh my god, roll a dexterity check.
14.
Okay.
I will add a clock tower dice to that.
Oh,
Make that a 16. Just in case.
man, I had something so funny planned, but no, you just do. You cannonball through the mirror.
I thought about... Here's the thing. I thought to myself, if Rock fails this right now, they're not leaving the tower for a minute. Because if they can't do something as silly and fun as a cannonball through a mirror, their existence is pointless.
Yeah, you cannonball through the mirror. Everybody watches you kind of just disappear into the ripples of the reflective surface, and then Rock is gone through into the mission.
All right, so now that
Rock's
they're...
not feeling very well.
Yeah, I was
Yeah.
gonna say, now they're gone, can we have like a quick huddle really quick?
All right, guys.
Before anyone else goes, pause.
All right, so Sam motions, bring it in. They're having a rough time. Could we just
Don't be as rough on them as we normally are when we're joking around, but
I was just gonna say, try and give them the opportunity to do things that are cool. That
and
still,
then don't second guess them.
Yeah, well, and then don't harangue them if they fuck it up.
Yeah, sure. Why not?
Yeah.
I'll take that.
You good with that, Trinket?
Yeah, I wouldn't have done that in the first place.
Could
Nice.
you two do me a favor? Could you two look up some sort of defense systems on the car so we don't get blown up by missiles right when we start the
I mean, my plan was I was just gonna when you grab, I was gonna hit the overcharge and just send the boost all the way forwards.
Problem is those missiles are locked onto us, so
Well, I mean, I'll have to get back to it, but yeah, I think we have shields or something.
yeah, we have shields. Just use those off bat. Might be helpful.
Sure. Yeah. I
Thank
can
you.
do that.
All right. So helmets, shields.
Yeah, you got your checklist, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
I have my thing set up. Helmet, shields. Might shoot one of the other cars. See how it works out. All right. You guys are doing your support team thing. I'll leave you alone for that. And then turns and just falls through the mirror.
Hey,
All right, let's go.
play you soon. Sam will step through.
Okay.
Same.
As you guys all step through the mirror and start the mission, do you have anything else you would like to do differently, or would you like to get straight to the starting line right before the 5 missiles were fired at you?
I feel like defense systems would be nice. If we could up those, that'd be great.
Oh, also, Rock, as always, when you get through the other side of the, even though you cannonballed and Jaeger fell through, when you guys are all on the mission, you're standing in the world, and to your left and to your right, there is everybody standing there with you.
Rock will remember this.
Okay.
I'll look at Jaeger as we're getting ready and be like, can you find any like defense systems or anything like that?
You know, Rock, that's a fantastic idea. I'm actually going to, let me go ask Sam. One sec. It just walks off.
Rock feels patronized.
There's also, it is kind of disorienting, by the way, when you like jump through the mirror and you're like balled up like a cannonball in midair, and then all of a sudden, like not even a second later, you're standing. It's just like, it's like when you start to fall asleep and you have that like quick like nod where like you start dreaming you're doing something else for half a second, you realize you're dreaming, you wake up and you're just like still in the position you were when you started nodding off. That's kind of like it is. You have a feeling like you nodded off for a second and you're standing next to your friends.
Sam would probably do everything the exact same, make sure the car is on, everything's running, going, but try and put as much power to begin with towards shields and acceleration.
Okay.
I'm going to grab our helmets, as like we did last time.
Yep.
Toss one to Rock. Besides that, I think everything else is just going to be how it is.
All right.
So
You guys hear the announcer announce the beginning of the race again. All of the racers line up, their floating platforms, all delivering them to the starting line at the same time Jaeger and Rox does. And as you guys get there, you see the same cars surrounding you. And Trinket, you get that same warning on the control pad that says there are 5 different enemy vehicles targeting your vehicle.
Oh, I do want to make a start for when we actually do start the race. Right when the light turns green and says go, I'm firing a shot down the barrel of one of the cars aiming a missile at us.
Okay.
I'm just going to end them right there.
Okay. Do you, Trinket, relay this incoming information to the rest of the team?
Yes, there are five vehicles targeting you guys.
Okay.
Sam, roll a intelligence or a wisdom check. You will get a different answer for both.
I will take intelligence.
I would also like to ask you a question. Where are we on the starting line, and how exactly is it set up?
You're actually in the first row of people on the starting line.
But it's a row.
It is a row, but there are staggered rows behind you. So think about it as like 10 cars on the front row. Staggered in the spaces between those cars, in the second row, there are another 10 cars. And then there are row 3 and 4 behind that for a total of 40 cars.
Okay, so history question.
They're all vastly different, by the way.
It's been a minute. When we started the race last time,
Mm-hmm.
did everybody immediately go, or were we the first one that really accelerated?
No, in fact, you guys didn't accelerate as fast as everybody else. And 5 of those cars started accelerating slightly, but definitely slower than you guys did so that they could have all of their missiles fire onto you.
Okay, and last question, did the missiles come from behind, or did they arc on top into the sides?
Some of them arced. Jaeger shot one of the ones that was going into the air. You deflected the other one in the air, and then the 3 other ones that were coming like kind of straight on followed your guys' path up and then just corrected themselves and all managed to hit into you.
Okay, so they are very much deadlocked onto us.
Oh yeah, they're homing.
Okay.
They're like locked on.
Okay. Rock would look at Jaeger and be like, I think the 2 things we need the most are defense, the look up, and defense. Because outrunning them does not seem to be a method.
Are you powering any of the other systems or just defense and acceleration?
Well, first of all, that's an 18 on my intelligence check.
Excellent. You know that if you divide your power evenly between acceleration and defense, your shield should be able to withstand 1d6 of missile fire from Rock.
5.
You can withstand 5 missiles with your shields, but then your shields will be down for the rest of the race.
All right, so Sam will start speaking over the comms.
Mm-hmm.
So I've got some power into shields. You should be able to block, I don't know, like 5 missiles. Try not to let all of them hit you. I mean, you're good at dodging. I trust both of you. However, do know that you will be a missile yourself because you will only be able to go forwards. Until the missiles hit us, I have no power to mobility.
I look at Jaeger and go, it's time to go fast.
He just cracks his neck from the back.
So yes, I am putting power into engines, obviously, to make the car go. But then 1 power is in weapons, and the rest is in mobility, shields, and 1 in life support.
Okay. You guys hear the announcer begin the race. Suddenly there is a rush of sound and action around all of you. There is missiles firing. You see cars taking off. What are you guys doing?
I pedal to the metal.
Okay. As soon as the race starts, Rock just floors it, huh? Just like as fast as you can go.
I legit, if Rock could put their foot through the car, they would right now.
Okay.
And I'm trying to take out one of the cars in the first row, so that way if that car goes up, the car behind it will just accelerate directly into the car.
Jaeger, can you make a dexterity save for me?
I can try. You know, I want to use that advantage you gave me.
Oh, the inspiration point.
Yeah.
Okay, well done. Was that a 1?
That was in fact a 1. I'll instead take that 8 instead. Thank you.
Okay. It's still not great. As Rock floors it, you've already got a shot lined up from like the beginning of the start line, right? The race begins. Rock slams their foot down on the pedal, and then all of a sudden, you're like aiming, like looking down the sights as if you would a gun, and both of the things on the reticle. It's like the world outside goes like a blur, like an after image for a second, and then like 2 seconds later, you feel the force of that hit you, and you go wham, and your helmet takes 5 damage, and you take 1.
Oof. Okay.
And you have disadvantage on your next roll because you are disoriented. You are like,
Fair.
oh my god. Rock, you are also, since you are kind of doing the thing where you like have your hands on the wheel and you're bracing up against your seat, and you're just putting your foot through the floor. You're not affected by the whiplash as much, but it is going so fast that you like can't really see what's going on. Trinket, can you roll a perception check?
16.
16? Okay. You see that there are some cars that are going faster than your guys' car currently. Not many. A lot of them are like trying to catch up. Some are speeding up, and you see like all of the dots of all 40 of the cars going up, and all of a sudden you see like after the finish line, 10 cars gone. Just like red X's appearing over so many other cars, and you see that like indicator, right? That there were missiles locked onto your car. It says that like missile lock has failed. All of the missiles have completely lost track of your car. However, you do see that there are not one but multiple turns coming up for your crew. Like the route like splits off into basically like 5 or 6 different paths, and there are these big like stone dividers between each path. It's like
Alright.
going through a tunnel on either
So,
side.
are the cars that are ahead, do they all seem to be taking the same path, or are they all taking different ones?
So, per your previously stated actions in the last episode of where you had navigation, like your set navigation to tell you like where to go and which path to follow, you set the most direct route.
Yes.
Which happens to also be the most dangerous route.
I thought they'd have the most fun.
Right. All the other cars are taking the most traveled route. Nobody else, like, you click on one of the other cars and it shows their preset route, actually. You can like see any of the other routes that the other coordinators. Now, the drivers are the ones actually following the route. This is just what their coordinator has planned for them to go through, and you assume that since you can see other people's, that they can see yours, but yours is the only one going on the fastest route, which is a slight left to not the first tunnel, but the second one to the left. But you guys are currently on path to go down the just like straight tunnel.
I'm gonna have you guys take a slight left.
Oh, slight left!
You said.
Let me help with that. All right. Okay. And then, like, their hands fly over things. And they're gonna drop mobility down by shields down by 2 and mobility up by 2.
Okay.
So they're taking power away from shields and putting it in mobility, so they can actually turn the wheel.
Are you turning shields off completely or just taking a couple power away from it?
I'm bringing it down to as low as it can go while still being on. And
Okay.
putting all that excess power into mobility.
All right. The car. Oh God. I'm gonna need Sam. I'm gonna say that's not gonna require a roll from you, but it is gonna require a roll from Rock.
Is it a dexterity roll?
It is a dexterity roll.
Fuck me.
Yeah.
Use athletics.
You know,
Sleight of hand.
for the people at home, meta-wise, I should not be the character doing this. Character-wise, I'm the only choice to be
Don't you
doing
have
this.
proficiency in vehicles?
I do. However, I also have a -1 in dexterity.
Yeah, but you're the only one with land vehicles as a skill.
That is
Right.
true.
You can.
Never
I'll let you
mind.
add your proficiency to this.
All right, so
due
it's
to the being
okay,
taught
so-
how to drive by a skeleton.
-1 plus 3, so it's a +2.
Okay.
Yeah, that's not too bad.
That's not bad. Well, that doesn't look like a high number.
I
9.
will add a clock tower dice to this.
Okay.
Extra 3.
Okay.
I will say, in order to add clock tower dice, you do need to be able to communicate to the other person. We don't often say this, like stipulation, but I would like to hear what Jaeger say to Rock.
Let's go! It's like, it's just like fucking like wobbling
You
in
know,
the seat.
I don't feel comfortable in taking that, but could I roll an insight? And if I roll high, can I understand what he's trying to tell me?
Yeah. I will say, if you roll low, then by this setup that you've determined,
I'll
that
take it,
you're
but
not
I just
gonna get that clock
I
tower
just do
dice.
not believe
But
that.
I'm gonna make Jaeger spend it.
Sure. Sorry, Trent. It makes sense story-wise.
No, it's fair. I'll take it.
So that's a 15 to understand him.
Wow, you kind of just like mesh. You kind of understand that he's trying to say you should turn left, and you should like be prepared. You get the clock tower dice addition to
Okay, so now I have a 12.
a 12 total.
It's okay. Question. We refresh clock tower coins in the tower or on the couch?
In the tower. When you go back to the new mission,
Okay, because I spent a clock tower coin in the tower.
that is spent.
That is spent? Okay.
Yes. Because you have not restarted the mission yet, and you spent that before the mission.
Luckily, you had an extra from your
Yes.
old friend.
So I technically am using my first one now, which I am going to. That'll be a 17.
All right. Basically, what ends up happening is as soon as Sam puts power into the mobility, if you guys remember last time, what happens when you power mobility is that the car's wheels descend and separate slightly, allowing you to be able to like move each wheel independently and turn in whatever way you want to turn. So as soon as that happens, while you're going the speed that you're going, the car gets wild speed wobbles immediately. It's like the wheel goes from being like basically stuck straight to all of a sudden Sam is like, increase mobility, and all of a sudden it just the wheel starts like, it's like it tries to rip your hands off of the wheel, and the car starts like fishtailing out of control. You hear Jaeger in the back being like, let's go, and all of a sudden Rock, you like laser focus in. You can like hardly see anything, and you can hear Trinket's voice in like a little like map thing where Trinket's telling you need to take a slight left, and it shows your like path you're taking, and instead of using like the surrounding area to guide you, you like fight the wheel trying to like turn against you at the speed you're going, and you manage to like muscle it just enough to go slightly left, and even then you pinball off the sides of the tunnel that you go in, and you see all around the sides of your car that same blue energy that you see when you try to touch the helmet that you're wearing, kind of going as the car is bouncing. Your shield takes 1 point of damage, and it turns off because there is no more shield power to fix that. And you manage to like, you're barely keeping it straight down this tunnel. Occasionally you're like listing, and it's like scraping the sides, and you can just see sparks going off the side of the car like crazy wildly. What would you like to do? Because you're very close to having to roll another dexterity check to continue keeping this straight.
Are we just heading down a tunnel?
Oh
right
yeah,
now?
it's like, it's a long tunnel. You see like multiple lights flashing on either side, which just makes you can really, it actually just to you guys looks like a single line of light. That's how fast you're going.
Okay, so Rock will say into the intercom, Sam, I need help. I need to be better. Please make me better.
You know what? You've always been better. You've got this. Oh wait, shit! You want me to change power? Okay.
It's really fast.
Just out of curiosity, what does Jaeger say in this current moment?
Fast.
Sam's gonna drop power completely from weapons, drop 1 power from speed, and put more power into mobility.
Oh, okay. Trinket, I need you to roll a perception check. Noted. Rock, roll another dexterity check with disadvantage.
Proficiency.
Yes, proficiency, but with disadvantage.
Nat 20.
Oh my god, I'm so sorry.
And
A 15.
Okay, well, Sam turns on more mobility, and it takes the wheel from like you're like barely able to keep it straight to all of a sudden it kind of like locks to one side, and you can't, like, you are not strong enough to pull it over because the more mobility at the speed you're going, like, you reduce speed a little bit, but it's still like more mobility, pretty similar speed. You haven't even had time to like slow down by the time this happens. Both the wheels like are now even better at turning, so they just like all the way to the left, and the car like skids to the side and starts spinning. It's now like spinning like a top. I need both you and Jaeger to make Constitution saves.
Nat 20.
Oh wow.
6.
Okay, Jaeger, you like put your hands on the side of the car and just muscle through. You're like, you just start breathing really heavily. It's actually so intense that it reminds you of like when you fell through different dimensions. Like that was worse than this, but it still is like kind of reminding you of it. Rock, all of a sudden you're like, oh, and you just see like darkness coming into your vision, and then
I will say, in last moments, I usually, Jaeger, I don't feel so good.
I'm going to, as I'm sitting there, I'm going to, Rock, come on, I believe in you, come on! Let's do this!
roll a persuasion check.
I can aid you on this.
No, I just got to do it without you. And if he's good at this, I will let you reroll your Constitution save.
That's going to be an 11. I'm going to add a clock tower dice to it. It's going to be a 15.
Damn. Reroll your Constitution save. You hear Jaeger's voice like echoing distantly from you. It sounds way too far away for how close it is.
16.
Okay, the darkness is just, your arrow feels so good, and Jaeger just like screams at you like, Rock!
Rock, I fucking believe in you, come on! Come on, you can do this!
You kind of like, you start breathing really hard, just like,
You're a fucking rock, come on!
You said my name.
Trinket, what is your perception check?
14.
You're kind of like listening to this and watching it, and you're like, wow, those G-forces must be like crazy. I don't know how they're still awake right now. You're just like, you're like, the console that you're looking at is like, are you aware that your car is currently spinning at like 140 miles per hour?
Is there anybody else on the route? Is it just them right now?
They're the only ones on this route.
I think you guys can slow down a little. I say as you're spinning out of control.
As there's like all this information being given to you, you notice a little too late that it says that there's a ramp coming up. And as you're like, I think you guys could slow down a little bit. The car hits the ramp. Oh my god. And I need you to just give me a straight roll. And if it's low, it's real bad. If it's high, it's better. It means you might have come out of the, you might be like going off of the spin. I mean, you're gonna get thrown like a fucking disc anyway. But like, maybe you might have a chance. Let's see how this goes.
Here, there is a possibility to this. If I get a nat 20, you guys ever seen like speed runs? Or like
You're gonna surf the wall.
We're gonna surf the wall. We're gonna like,
Oh my god, I've never wanted you to get a 20 more.
I'm not gonna get it. I'm not gonna get it.
The speedrun technique of like when you purposely fuck up really bad so that it launches your character out of bounds so that you can like
Land on another
land
lane.
somewhere else,
Oh.
that is incredible. I hope.
Good things don't happen to Rock, so this isn't
I
happening.
wish I could aid you because I was like, well, if I time it right, I'll just turn on the flight system.
I'll tell you what, if you can somehow get this dice above 25, not even natural 20, but above 25,
What's happening?
good thing will happen.
I'm out of clock. Well, I have one more clock tower dice.
So
It's
roll
not
great.
happening. It's
And
not
19
happening.
and a 6.
Good things don't happen to Rock. They don't. They don't happen.
Oh no.
Everyone was so hopeful looking at the dice. Even Parker was like, "Ooh."
No, it's a 5 with my vehicle proficiency minus my dexterity. It's a 7. Even if I use my clock tower dice, I'm barely getting a 12.
I have a question. I have 2 inspiration.
Mm-hmm.
Can I spend 2 inspiration to let them reroll that?
You can spend one of your inspiration to let them have advantage, sure.
Okay. Roll again.
Okay.
Oh my god, it's a 19. If Parker gets a
Actually,
6 right now,
it's a 21 right now.
Yeah.
You
You need a 4 up.
5! Let's go!
Oh my god.
So that is a total of 26.
Okay. Out of sheer chance, Sam, you manage to take a point of away from mobility as soon as you like. Trinket's like, you guys can slow down, and then you like see the ramp. Do you say anything about the ramp as the car is?
You know, I
hitting the
feel
ramp,
like it's
or-
too late.
It's too late.
I feel like it's, fuck.
It's more realistic.
As
What the fuck? Oh shit! Why?
as you see, like you both see on your like video screen that the car is like coming out of the tunnel. It's got like this like incline about a 45-degree angle on a smooth curve that just like the car hits at a massive spin and goes, "Whoom," and it's supposed to like clear this ramp and go over like a big ass like lava pit, and it's supposed to go into like a water slide bowl on the other side that you're supposed to hit and go into another tunnel. But the car off of this ramp actually like frisbee discs itself out of that path completely as you guys are like spinning like a fucking top. And Sam, you know wherever they're gonna hit is gonna be really bad. What are you doing power-wise in the split second as soon as the car goes off the ramp?
Do I have time to make an intelligence check? To like interrogate my options really quick. Pick
No,
now.
I want to know what you do right now.
Flight system.
I forgot that was a thing.
Well, I mean, I could have said aqua mode and just made it very funny, but I'm gonna choose flight system.
Okay,
I drop a point from, again, mobility and put it into flight
you're
system.
only putting 1 point into flight system?
You know, I feel like I'm gonna drop 2 from speed and 1 from mobility and put 3 into flight.
Okay. As you guys are spinning like a top, right? Rock, you're fighting G-Force even more now, because rather than spinning on a road in like a horizontal position, you went on the ramp and you started just tumbling in a bunch of different directions to the point where even Jaeger, you guys start going like, oh god. And then all of a sudden, the wheel in your hands like goes away. It like pulls away from you.
No!
And from underneath, in between your legs, a like stick fires up to the point where you're like, oh god, like it almost like hits you in the face when you're leaning forward, like, no, the wheel!
This is worse! What is... Ah!
It looks like you've got like a place to grab the thing with both hands.
I'll grab with both hands.
Okay, you grab with both hands, and immediately, as soon as you like engage the stick, it goes all the way forward. Like the thing is starting to spin, and you see from Sam and Trinket's perspective, you see that the car that has just gone off, it like flattens out kind of like a disc, like the outside of it kind of, it now looks almost like those weird sort of like boomerang stealth bomber kind of a thing. It just had like the 2 pieces of it kind of go off to the side. And it's like firing off, trying to stabilize, but it's kind of like now spinning like it's going into a nosedive, but still way too fast.
Rock with just extreme intuition, like caveman brain, go, thing forward, must go back, and they'll wrench it back.
Okay, roll a strength check.
Jaeger, do you have any more clock tower dice? Neither do I.
With half, buddy.
If we die here, Rock's anger meltdown will be ungodly. If we succeed this, Rock's anger meltdown will be ungodly. Okay, can I add my athletics to this? Just like big boy flexing.
Yes. Yeah, absolutely.
All right,
I'm totally
so
down for that.
I have a +3.
Okay.
And with a point of inspiration, please reroll that natural 1.
Okay. Cal has spent both inspiration points on you. This
If we chant it, maybe it'll happen.
Great things happen to
Rock. Great things happen to Rock. Great things happen to Rock.
I did one.
Great things happen to Rock. They don't.
Well, it's not a 1.
It's a 7.
It's a 7? Okay. You start trying to pull up. You're like, and you're going so fast, and everything is like, you're going so fast, and your engines are still propelling you forward. So you're still like going down into the spiral. You have maybe one other decision you guys can all make before you crash into the side of like some fucking. You're like going through spiraling clouds.
You know, right now it's literally this is like do or die. Mm-hmm. Even the talking action to Sam to change something isn't going to do anything because that's 2 actions.
No, I'll allow you to say something to Sam. Sam can change one thing if you.
Okay.
If you think of something that you guys can do right now to try and get you out of this situation, it's got to be Rock because there isn't enough time, and Jaeger's still too disoriented. You went from like smashing your head to immediate G-forces, and then you were like, Rock, I believe in spent right now, buddy.
What systems do we have?
So currently, a quick diagnostic. The only thing we have powered is mobility, engines, flight, and speed.
Fuck it. Rock's brain would immediately think of this. My sword has that that incline, right? With one last strength check, I'm going to wrap it around the fucking thing and yank it back.
Okay. I will. Yeah.
Brain use bar.
Brain use bar.
Make lever.
I mean, this is legitimately, you're going from like pulling in this way to like having something to help you pull. Yeah.
Can I add my charisma bonus to this as well, since it's my clock tower weapon?
Yes, I will allow you to add your charisma bonus. So I'm going to give you 2 options.
Okay.
You can use your bonus to hit, but if you fail this roll, you are crashing.
Are those my? That doesn't seem like 2 options.
Or you can just use your athletics again with advantage. And if you fail this, you are crashing.
So wait, athletics and advantage, or my plus to hit? Is there a DC that I need to meet for this?
Yeah. You need to get above 15.
Rock, do something. He did!
Which one are you using?
Plus the +7.
Okay, yeah,
They
okay.
said +7. Okay, so with a 18, Rock pulls out their clock tower sword, which is impressive that you like managed to get it off of your like back and like you kind of just like lean your head down and throw it behind the stick and just pull back as hard as you can. And as you do, you feel you hear the whole thing groaning, and all of a sudden, Jaeger, you see one thing for a second as you're like, ugh, and the ship starts to almost stop spinning, and you see the ground. There's just like this like big like asphalt runway kind of a thing that must be for like some other part of the racetrack, and then all of a sudden the ship starts to turn and you guys feel like the big G-forces of the drop going up, and then all of a sudden both of you black out for a second. You're pulling back, and you guys see from the cameras inside that like you can see Rock and Jaeger. Rock is like pulling so hard, and the ship goes down, makes a direct U-turn to going straight up, and Rock just kind of goes limp and like is still like holding the thing, and then the ship is like now going just climbing up into the air, and as both of you regain consciousness for a moment, Rocky, you're like, oh, and you like grab onto the lever. Are you still using your sword, or are you gonna actually like grab the lever now?
The sword was pretty effective, but that was mainly for the strength. I'm gonna use my hams.
Okay, you instinctively grab onto the lever, and you guys see these like incandescent clouds all around you, just like blues and pinks and purples, and you crest out of them, you explode out of them with the clouds sort of like clinging to your vehicle as it breaks through, and you guys have broken through into the middle of the flying stadium of all of the people, and the cheers around you as you guys have all just like managed to save yourselves from sheer death explode so loud. And then you realize that you're like, oh, you're like real off course. You're like nowhere near the fucking race right now.
I will say, if we're just this blissful moment, I'll look at Jaeger and I'll look to this guy and be like, it's beautiful, isn't it? It's just the things we get to see in between all of the death and blood and
Hey, Rocky did a cool thing. Okay, can we level up, please?
This is so beautiful.
Jaeger, you're like falling into your chair as you guys are like still kind of pulling some crazy shit, going like straight up still.
Oh, my bad.
Trinket, you got a big red warning on your screen that says like, please return your vehicle to the racing area.
All right, we need to go back. And Rock will like guide it back.
Okay. Sam, can you roll an intelligence check?
Absolutely. 5. Oh, my tower, they lived. Oh, they lived. Okay.
You get a notification on your screen that says, vehicle not meant for extended flight. Please return to the ground before flight systems fail. Flight system failing.
All right, okay, you gotta get to the ground. You gotta get down right now.
Okay. And I'll like aim it toward, like not nosedive, but like I've flown planes before.
I know you have,
So
like, legitimately.
we're gliding.
Okay,
we're
you're just
getting
gonna
down.
try and coast
Yeah, we're gonna
towards
coast.
the racetrack, huh? All right, as Jaeger and Rock descend slowly back towards the race.
Hey, Ellie again. Thank you for listening. All music from Season 1 of ClockTower made by Who's Music. If you would like your own D&D music commissioned, you can contact them and find all of their work through linktree/whos.music, or find it in the description below. Thanks, Who's. Thanks to our editing team and Cal for making the episodes what they are. I would also like to thank our sponsor, Alpha Lupine Images, for donating the equipment to help us make more content with better quality. Thank you to Cal, Parker, Kball, and Trent for their great performances. Thank you to the voice of our disclaimer, Valak Donahue. You can check out his work at patreon.com/themadlanddreamer. You can also find that in the description below. And thank you again for listening. ClockTower Season 2, Episode 4 will be out on February 17th. Till then, time's ticking. See you in the ClockTower.